and we are back. And so this is part 2 of tonight's chat. Today is Sunday, February the 23rd, and the first part of our chat was chat number 162, and 162, I don't know, Carol, you might need a pencil, maybe. I'm just going to give you some ideas, so you may or may not need to write them down. And I'll probably get Casey to make number 3 into something y'all can print. So tonight was chat number 162, think outside the scale. So we're trying to come up with non-scale ways to know how we're doing. So your homework was to do hashtag non-scale victory. Okay, this is going to be a non-scale victory for me. So you all have to suffer through it and listen. It is 26 days until... He's okay, I think. Hello, hello, Marlene from Florida. You okay? You okay? Okay, sorry, got a coughing dog. Anyway, oh, and Melissa says, how many often can you call clothes shopping in NSV before hubby goes crazy? I don't know, depends on the hubby. Okay, but tonight we're going to talk about, it is 26 days until spring. Okay, so it is eking ever closer to sleeveless shirt weather, to can't bundle up in a sweater weather, to can't hide what we've not been doing this winter weather, if y'all catch my drift. So Casey and I have not gotten to go to Planet Fitness at all. At all. Karen and I have struggled to keep our walking up. Our weather has been horrific here. John and I live downtown. There's not a lot of options for me unless I drive somewhere, or because I walk. That's what I do. But we have had so much rain, not even snow, because I would walk in the snow. But we've had rain, flooding, whatever. So I am saying 26 days until spring. I got to do some other stuff. I got to do some other stuff that's inside. It's supposed to rain again tomorrow on mine and Karen's walking day, and it's supposed to rain again on Tuesday, and then I think we're supposed to have snow flurries on Wednesday. So I'm about over this crazy East Tennessee weather, but 26 days until spring, probably less than that, until it'll be time to wear sleeveless shirts, to start wearing, clothes again that you can't wrap up in. I'm not going to be wrapping up in my sleeping sweater. So we're going to do 3 games. I came up with 3 things that you can do to try and get ready for that sleeveless shirt weather, even if you're not going to be wearing a sleeveless shirt. But 3 ways that you can get ready for that. So I posted a question on Instagram and on our Facebook page and asked people what their favorite non-gym exercise was, and we're going to use some of those for tonight's games. And so it's the trifecta, of sleeveless shirt weather games. But I'm going to call them the Get Fit games. So we are going to start the Get Fit games. You all do not have to participate tonight. I'm not going to make you do that. Instead, you can take notes if you want to. So if you want to get a pencil, you can. I will try to get this to Jessica so that she can get them typed up. Been super crazy busy, so I've missed a couple of weeks. But game number 1, I'm going to call Get Ready Go Go. So that's going to be your morning game. So everybody gets up in the morning. So for some of us, it's 3:30 in the morning. For some of us, like Popcorn Karen, if you're here, I love you. Getting up in the morning is like 11. It's like 10 or 11. But so it's called Get Ready Go Go. So this is what you're going to do in the morning. I want you to pick 5 things that you already do every morning. You already do them every morning, but they're normally stationary things. So, and then I want you to make a game around them of non-stationary things that you can do while you're getting ready. So one for me is coffee brewing. So I brew coffee every single morning. There's not a morning that goes by that I don't make coffee. So while the coffee is brewing, I'm going to say, or if you're making tea or whatever it is that you do, first thing in the morning like that, I'm going to say grab a couple of cans. This doesn't require any special gym equipment. These are cans of Cuban-style black beans from Trader Joe's, and they weigh 15.5 ounces. So that is a half an ounce away from 1 pound. So I'm going to say do arm exercises because I want to be able to wear a sleeveless shirt this summer. So I'm going to say do arm exercises, and I'm squatting because for some reason when I do these arm exercises, I feel the need to squat. I do not know why, but you can, and I'll back up a little bit so I'm not hitting this, but you can do some things like this and adding the extra adding the extra 1 pound in each hand is going to help with the workout. You can do this. You can do circles, backwards, and then remember to do them forward as well. Open Teresa's got me beat by 15 minutes in the mornings. Do this if you want to get rid of this part. Take your cans and do this. You can do some curls, so you can do some different things. So you could do a whole little routine, you know, you could do some punches. You could do a whole little routine while your coffee's brewing or while your tea kettle's getting ready, you know, even if it's just for a minute. So we've been doing this for less than a minute. So I've had quite the little arm workout in less than a minute while you're waiting on your coffee to brew. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, so that's part of the morning get ready, go. And did you hear, I mean, what was that, 2 minutes? And I'm already a little, you know, just by adding something that weighs a pound. Okay, so you don't have to have any special weights. You don't have to have anything special. Okay, the second thing is while you're brushing your teeth. So everybody brushes their teeth every morning, right? I hope. So while you're brushing your teeth, and you're supposed to brush your teeth for about 60 seconds. So while you're doing that, and I know you can't see my feet, but do some heel raises. So I think we're all coordinated enough to do this while we're going up and down on our toes, okay? So heel raises, everybody know what I'm talking about? Where you're standing like this and you go up on your toes and raise your heel up. Teresa says she does squats while she's drying her hair. That is an excellent one. That is excellent. I was going to say do squats while you're getting dressed. So you can, you know, so do a few squats, you know, put your shirt on. Button your shirt. You could be brushing your hair. You could be drying your hair like Teresa does. So yeah, so you can do that. You can do that while you're doing some squats. So that would be another good one, doing some squats. So something I do every single day is walk the dog, who I think is asking to be done now. But walk the dog an extra lap. So while you're already walking the dog, or if you're, you know, have a kid that you take out, I'm just kidding. So if you're walking the dog, if you let the dog out the back door, maybe walk in place while you're waiting on the dog to come back in. So if you don't walk the dog, or if you're letting the cat out, you know, or somebody like that, walk in place while you're waiting for them to get done with their business. Instead of just standing there going, come on, I got places to be. I got places that I need to be. So you can do that. And all of this, if you live with somebody else, if you live with a husband, spouse, wife, kids, if you live with somebody else, you're probably waiting. You're probably waiting on them to get ready. So while you're waiting on them, do some more marching in place. So I think marching in place, you know, sitting there watching TV, waiting on everybody to get ready, you know, go ahead and march in place, get some extra exercise in. You could do some side twists, and side twists would be great with the cans. So you can use the cans again, you know, kind of hold them out in front of you. And I'll back up a little bit more, but hold them out in front of you. Do some side twists while you're waiting on everybody to get ready. Because you know you're the first one. Mom's always the first one to be ready. And you're always waiting on everybody else to get their lunch, to pack their backpack, to find what they're supposed to have, to find their car keys. Yeah, you're always waiting on everybody else. So go ahead and do some exercises like that. Okay. And because that does work up a little bit of, you know, energy. Got a little bit of sweat going here. Okay, the second one is called while at work workout. So while you're at work, and if work is school, or if work is an office, or if work is anything that's sedentary, I know we've talked about this before, but I need y'all to listen to me. Sitting is the new smoking. So there is lots of information out, lots of studies out that say that people who have a sedentary job, even if sedentary is just standing in the same spot. So you might think that standing up, if you scan groceries, if you're a cashier somewhere, if you work retail, if you're working at an airline desk, you know, people think, you know, oh, well, you stand all day, you know, that's exercise. That's still sedentary. So not moving is sedentary. So but it is, sitting is the new smoking. So people who are sitting and typing, who are sitting on the phone, who are sitting, talking to people, who are doing interviews, whatever, sitting is the new smoking. It's worse for you than smoking. Not saying that I want you all to go take up smoking. I'm not saying that at all. But sitting is super, super bad. So, okay. So this is your while at work workout. So for those of us that are sedentary, for those of us that are sitting still, if you're sitting, so if you're already sitting when the phone rings, or it's when your turn to answer the phone, somebody's calling you, it's just your turn to answer the phone, or somebody calls for you, don't just sit there and answer the phone. If you're already sitting, stand up. So stand up, talk on the phone, go ahead and take your phone call, make your notes if you need to. When you're done, sit down. Then the next time you have to answer the phone, stand up. Go ahead and take your notes. Or if you're standing, if you can sit, sit down. Okay, and Betty says she answers the phone nonstop for 8 hours. So Betty, you're going to have like the fittest rear end of all of us, because you're going to be doing squats. Basically be doing squats all day long. So Betty might get a pass for every single time. But you know what I'm saying. If you're already standing up, if you have the opportunity, sit down. And if you were sitting down when you answered the phone, stand up. Okay. The next one, hand deliver a message to a coworker, a boss, whoever. Hand deliver a message, hand deliver the mail instead of sending an email. So even if you don't go far, and Carol, if you're stuck in meetings all day, will they let you fidget? Will they let you fidget in your meetings? So like, can you turn in your chair? Can you do leg lifts in your chair? Like I do that when we're at church. I'll sit, because I can't get up and move around, and we sit still for an hour and then an hour, with no break in between really. So I'll do like leg lifts. I'll just sit and, do little leg lifts, or sometimes I'll put my hands on the chair, and without being too obvious, I'll push myself up and down, off of the chair. But, hand deliver a message instead of an email. So isn't it nice sometimes to be able to see your coworkers in person instead of just emailing them all day? So I've been trying to take, as I get estimates done, I've been trying to take them one at a time to Casey up to the front to go ahead and send their welcome information. And then as I finish a folder, walk it upstairs. It's one at a time instead of saving them. So I was saving them on my desk and either taking them once a day or going, hey, so-and-so, as long as you're going over there, could you take this for me? So I've been trying to take them myself. But so try delivering a message instead of sending an email or just sending somebody a voicemail. So Casey has started a cork board for me up at the front, and so now at least a couple of times a day, they're not putting people in my voicemail anymore. So now at least a couple of times a day, I have to physically walk down the hall. It's not a long walk, but again, sitting, stand up, walk down the hall, and go check my messages. Go check the messages on the board. And I don't know, I have found something quite gratifying by plucking those messages off the board, finishing them and throwing them away instead of just listening to a voicemail. So, okay, and plus I can see how many I have left. Then find a few chair exercises that you can do on YouTube. So if you just go to YouTube, and hopefully this won't be too loud. Come on, YouTube. Hold, please. Okay, so you can either just Google it, or you can go to YouTube, and find some things to go, some things to do in your chair. So if it's not going to be too obvious, you can do office chair exercises. So let me find one here. So what exercises can I do while sitting at my desk? There are 8 exercises you can do at your desk, some even while you're sitting down. So seated leg raises, that's what I was talking about I do during Sunday school. A hovering leg raise. Football fast feet. So the football fast feet, is, moving your feet, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Chair dips. That's what I was talking about with my hand, lowering yourself, raising yourself back up. Shadow boxing. If there's nobody else in your office, or if you're mad at them, and you could just go ahead and do, some shadow boxing. Water bottle free weights. So they were talking about using, and I don't have a water bottle up here, but like we did with the cans, using a water bottle as free weights. Swiveling abs. So again, if you're in an office chair, you can swivel. Don't move your whole body, just move the top part of your body, but you could swivel in your chair. And the leaning plank. So you could lean on your desk, while you're working, and especially if you're somebody that wears a headset all day, you're talking to people like Alan answers questions all day long. That's what he does. He has a headset on. So he could do some leaning planks. He could lean against his desk and do that. Or you can go to, like this one is on YouTube. And is a 5-minute desk chair workout. So what she's saying is, I'm going to turn her down a little bit. So she's saying, you're sitting in your desk chair, and she says, just stand up from your desk chair and sit down. And stand up and sit down. Then she has you, if your desk chair has arms on it, she has you push up and push down and push up and push down. And then she's got some other moves. So it just says, if you go on YouTube, it's 5-minute desk chair workout. And then it says, get moving during your workday. And that is on YouTube. So I will stop her, and I'll share this after we get done. I'll share her after we get done with our chat tonight. Because I think that's a great one. And it's 5 minutes. Even I can take a 5-minute break during the day. So I think that one's a really good one. The next one, your boss will love you. Parking lot patrol. So why don't you volunteer? I think this one's a great one. Volunteer to go spend 5 minutes in the parking lot every day picking up trash. So every single day, because we're right there on Kingston Pike, people are tossing stuff out their windows, which I don't understand. Or we've had so much rain lately, like stuff's blowing over. There's constantly trash in our parking lot. So for 5 minutes a day, if you just went out, especially if it was pretty outside, if the weather was nice, if you just went outside for 5 minutes every day, volunteered, hey boss, I'd like to go clean up the parking lot for 5 minutes every day. People take breaks for a lot of things, but a 5-minute break. Get up, get outside if the weather's nice, clear your mind, or take out the trash. Just volunteer. Hey, you know what? I'll go collect the trash, in 5 different offices. But spend 5 minutes doing that, because that's 5 minutes that you're going to spend up on your feet, bending over, picking up trash cans, something that's going to get you moving for 5 minutes. And 5 minutes moving is better than 5 minutes not moving. Plus, everybody else gets to enjoy a clean parking lot, because if you did it every day, your parking lot would be beautiful. And let's see, Sandra says she parks her car away from the store so she can get her steps in. That's another good one. So do you work at a store and you park away from it? Then my last one for midday. So for the while at work workout. So this is like your midday thing. This is what you're doing, during the middle of the day. Make an office obstacle course. So we had, back in the old showroom, we had a display out in the middle that actually made this super, super easy. So when people would come in, or like when if I was going from my office to the kitchen, I would go out around, and I would make a couple of laps around the display and then go in, because it was like 80 something steps if I went 2 laps around the display. Well, we don't have that now. So what I've been trying to do is, when I take people to show them the countertops, so I come back into where we meet them, and then I take them down to the quartz room, and I go around on the other side. I go around on the other side of the display, and then I come back on the side that they're on, and then I go around on the other side, and then I come back on the side that they're on. But I'm hoping I'm not making it too creepy. Then I take them in the granite room and do the same thing. But then, when we come back up into the main showroom, we've got 4 different display areas, and so I'm trying to circle one and show them this display, then circle the second one, show them this display, show them again, and show them again. Oh, and Divine is a fitness instructor, so she's doing that all day long. So Divine, hopefully you're giving these a thumbs up, the seal of approval. But yeah, so make an obstacle course. So an office obstacle course, so that you have to go around things. Now, don't make a trip hazard. I don't want to find out that anybody has broken an ankle or something because you made a real obstacle course. But make it so that you have to go to get things. You have to go to the copier. You have to walk around a display. You've got to, go around your desk to get to the stapler or something like that. So that's what I mean by an obstacle course. Okay. So we've got your morning. You got your morning worked out. You've got your afternoon worked out. So you've got your all day long worked out. So what are you going to do when you get home? Because I know if you're like me, I've been going from 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning until when I finally come pulling in, it's like 6 o'clock at night. So, I'm not a math whiz, but that's more than 12 hours. So that's more than a 12-hour day. I'm tired. I'm thinking food and bed, food and bed, food and bed. But I'll tell you one thing we always find time for. We always find time to watch at least 30 minutes of TV. So what am I going to do? The third game is your after work wrap up. So before you let yourself crash, unless you have a crazy schedule, like Cheryl says, she's a nurse and she is always moving. Okay, Cheryl might just need to come home and go to bed. But before I crash, this is the game that I said I started to say make Casey. I'm not gonna make Casey do it, but I want Casey to make you all a blank form for this so that you can fill it in with, with however you want to personalize it. But I want you to make up one of those games like we played last year, where last year we did it during one of the chats. So if you want to fill one of those out and use it during the chats, that's great. That is awesome, and I would love to hear about it. But for the rest of you, I would like for you to find something. Most of us, a lot of us, watch TV. I think a lot of us are still watching TV or watching Netflix or something like that. But a lot of us have regular things that we're watching. Either you're watching the nightly news, you're watching a favorite TV show. A lot of us are binge watching things on Netflix. But I want you to take one of those things that's more common. Or if you know that you're going to be, watching it, on certain nights, like if it's Ellen's Game of Games on one night and America's Got Talent on another night and Dancing with the Stars or whatever. If there are certain things that happen almost every show, this is the game that I want you to make. So for our game for tonight, I'm going to use as an example, just as an example, I'm not going to make you all do this, but as an example, I'm going to use the Big Bang Theory. So John and I watch The Big Bang Theory almost every night. So it doesn't matter if, and Teresa, you're going to find some other way, because Teresa doesn't turn on her TV for 2 weeks. So something else, maybe if it's when you're listening to the radio, if there's a common thing, that's happening during the radio, or, like during the day, during the songs. So I'm going to make this one up based around The Big Bang Theory. So you're going to find your TV show or music, or if you listen to a podcast, or if you, whatever common thing, that you do in the evening before you start winding down, this is what I want you to do. And it's just to get a little tiny bit of exercise in before you go to bed. We're not trying to work up a sweat. We are not trying to, get pumped up before we go to bed. We're not trying to, Carla, you're going to have to figure out some way to do this while you're reading. But it's not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get you over pumped so that you can't go to bed, but it's just a little tiny bit of exercise. By the time you get done with these 3, you should have had about at least 15 minutes of exercise in the morning, in the middle of the day, and at night. And you wouldn't believe how much just getting 15, 15, and 15, how much that is gonna help. Okay, so I'm going to use Big Bang Theory. So I'll try to get Casey to get this form done. I don't know if she'll get it done tomorrow because they've got a whole lot to do at the shop tomorrow. But I'm going to get her to make a generic one of these, and this is going to be like Mad Libs. So do y'all remember the old Mad Libs game where it would be a story, but it would leave some of the places blank, and then you added whatever words you wanted to the story. So this game is going to be like that. So for this game, again, I'm going to use Big Bang Theory because we watch one 30-minute Big Bang Theory every single night. Of course, into syndication, but that's one thing that we do before we go to bed. So And yes, Devon says that at night it's more about movement than exercise. So exactly right. And Susie says she's stuck on The Bachelor on Mondays for 2 hours. You definitely have to do this for those 2 hours during The Bachelor. Okay, so I'm going to say that during The Big Bang Theory, that if they're in their lunchroom, so every time they're in their lunchroom, so if you've ever watched Big Bang Theory, you know they go in either their lunchroom or the lab a lot. So if they're in the lunchroom, I'm going to do 10 presses on our island. So our island weighs enough that it's not going to go anywhere if I do 10 presses on our island. So if they're in the lunchroom, and if they don't go in the lunchroom that episode, that's okay. That is okay. So I'm just going to do it if they're either in the lab or in the lunchroom, 10 island presses. And I wasn't counting, so I have no idea how many I just did. Okay, if they say the word physics, I have to do something with the cans, because they're going to say the word physics like 3 or 4 times during the show. So maybe the first time they say the word physics, I'm going to grab my cans and I'm going to do this for 10 times. Maybe the next time they say physics, I'll do 10 arm circles, but I'll do something every time they say the word physics. So again, that's not going to be enough to get me sweaty. It's going to be enough to raise my heartbeat just a tiny bit. Oh yeah, and Susie said every time they kiss on The Bachelor, so you're going to be constantly doing something, constantly. Every time that Sheldon knocks on Penny's door, because it's almost every exercise, so Penny, I'm going to get up and I'm going to march in place and count to like 20 or 25. So again, I'm not lifting my knees up high. I'm not going to break a sweat. Not trying to get my heart pumping too much, because I'm going to be going to bed in an hour or so after that. But just something, because I'm almost guaranteed that Sheldon's going to say that, every single night. Every time they make fun of Howard. So every time somebody makes fun of Howard, then I'm going to do leg lifts. So I'll do like 10 on each side, because they're going to make fun of Howard every day. Okay, so 10, and I'm not counting tonight, so I have no idea how many I just did. Then things that don't happen like every single episode, but things that you know are coming up, make it something harder. So make that a challenge, so that it's not every single time. Because again, I don't want you to do this so late at night that you Teresa says, I do yoga, I can't exercise or I won't sleep. Yeah, then do yoga. So you can do like so let's do a yoga pose. So every time Howard's mom goes, Howard, every time she says Howard, and this is not going to be attractive, but maybe I'll do, some kind of stretch, or I'll do, downward dog, or I'll do whatever this is called. But so you can do yoga poses. So every time something happens, yay! And Devon says this is an excellent way to raise your heart rate and get your blood and oxygen circulating. Yay! So it has the Devon seal of approval. Hooray! Hooray! Okay, and then the last one is going to be whenever Sheldon says bazinga. Okay, because he does not say bazinga every single show. So every time he says bazinga, jumping jacks, and I'm not going to do more while we're here, but anyway, jumping jacks, because that's not going to be every single time. So that's going to be, that's going to be on the rare one, once or twice a week. Hopefully it'll be on the weekends when I get to sleep just a little bit more. So everybody, I want you to get up, get moving 3 times a day. It's just 3 times a day, and just make yourself some little cues. So in the get ready, go, you're going to pick some things to do while you're waiting on the coffee to brew, while you're brushing your teeth, and while you're getting dressed, while you're drying your hair, while you're brushing your hair, during the day at work. Stand up when you answer your phone. For those of you that answer a phone all day, you're going to have amazing glutes when you get done. Parking lot patrol. Think about how pretty your parking lot's going to be when you get done. And then for your after work wrap up, pick a favorite show, pick some music that you're listening to. If it's a podcast, again, pick something that's got some repetition to it, so that you can keep up with that. And I will try to get Casey to make you all a generic sheet so that you can fill it in. Okay, Dusty. I want y'all to see his hair real quick if he'll come over here. Dusty, come here. Dusty. Okay. Never mind, I don't guess y'all are seeing his haircut tonight because he's like snoring. He's snoring on the couch now. Anyway, y'all have a great week. If you are watching this later on YouTube, please remember to watch the next video up here. If you haven't been watching these on YouTube, please go back and watch them. It's a great way, or just listen to them. So if you're watching this on YouTube or listening on YouTube, here's the next video coming up. Please subscribe. This little button down here is to subscribe. And if you do subscribe, if you're a new subscriber, please hit that little bell so that you'll be notified every time we post a new video, which is usually the day after these. And we do some food reviews, and we do some of the recipes. Some of the recipes from www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com are also posted on there. And if you would like to order one of our spread shirts, which Casey was working on 2 really cute ones the last time I looked, then that is over there. So everybody have a great week. Don't forget to visit www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com and let Jessica know how we are doing. I'm getting pretty excited because it's looking pretty good, and it's getting a little tiny bit easier to post the recipes, so that's good news. But everybody have a great week. Don't forget about your homework, and I will see you next week. Good night.